Hello friends, happy May. Welcome back to another video, another Power Sheets, bullet journal, planning video, monthly reset, monthly reflection, just all the things that we do at the end of a month when we're starting a new month. It's still April for me currently as I'm filming this, so I'm still kind of in April mode and not really on board with the fact that May is in a few days time, but I have at least taken some time to set up all of my planner things, bullet journal things, to kind of start that process. I feel like for many of us, we don't want to blow through our planning because that's when a lot of like forced goals and intentions come out, and I personally need to kind of sit over a few days. So we're starting off our planning routine, which I also have a video on I think it's my weekly planning routine. I don't know, I will link it above somewhere. Anywho, I just wanted to say that I've started my planning process. So I always start like going into my Power Sheets just to kind of see where I was for April, and I look over my tending list and kind of update that. Battery's dying. Back in business. So as I was saying, I went into my April tending list and was updating that and just realized that, I don't know, clearly I did not reach all of my goals this month. Like, I skipped a video this month because I needed some time off. I've adjusted my upload schedule. I wanted to read 3 books and I only have read 2 so far, and there's literally 1 more day left in this month, so I don't think I'm going to be able to reach that goal. And I knew I wasn't going to have much time to read or really work on my goals, or especially new activities that I'm trying to do more of, like drawing and learning Spanish, because I already knew that I was going to prioritize like socializing and having fun and doing stuff on the weekend. And now that we're coming out of winter where I'm not hibernating and inside so much, I want to spend more time outside, and that just means I don't have the time and space to just naturally gravitate towards, the things that I have put on my tending list and that I really want to work on. So basically I'm saying that it was easier in the winter when there wasn't a lot going on and we're stuck inside to just, pick up my sketchbook and draw and read, because there wasn't really anything else to do. But now that, spring is here, summer's right around the corner, like I'm going outside more and doing things, there isn't that like blank space to an opportunity to just do the things that I used to do during the wintertime, i.e. draw and read and all of those things. So that's something, like, after doing Power Sheets and planning and kind of using the same process for years, that my body knows that and my mind knows that, and I'm able to kind of plan for that ahead of time, like when I'm doing my month ahead planning. So now that we're going into May, when it's going to be definitely warmer out, it's going to just go from spring to hot summer in a second, and I know that in advance. So I know all these things are happening, and I've plugged those into my calendar page. I put in the things that I know are happening and then kind of look around at the white space that is in my calendar and work around and try and plan ahead of what days I'm going to be free and have larger amounts of time to kind of just rest or draw or read or, just do nothing. And then I also know the days where I'm going to be busy or traveling or there's something going on. I've also already set up my bullet journal spread for all of May. So I have my monthly, and I actually messed up because I don't do pencil because I just am impatient and I just go straight to pen when I do it. And then if I mess up, whatever. The ink was so faint that you can't even really see it. Anyway, so I made my monthly calendar page, my little Dutch door, and I put my month at a glance and lunar section where I like to just have this space to kind of put things, even though last month I didn't really put much in there, but I like putting the moon phases in there so I can kind of have that in front of me. I didn't do that yet. I need to go do that. And then I have a section for my monthly tasks and YouTube, and I did all of my week at a glance spreads just already because I know, again, May might be busy and I just want to have it there in case it's Sunday and I don't necessarily feel like doing my weekly spread and it's already done for me. So literally I just need to go in and like plug something. I just need to like write the stuff. I don't need to actually make the spread. So I guess one point I'm driving home is that if you know you're going into a busy month this May or this summer, you know, there's a lot going on, try your best to kind of plan for that and know that ahead of time and just get as much done up front to make it easier for you down the road. So as much as I didn't want to sit here for a couple hours doing all of this, I'm glad that I did it because that's time I'm going to be allowing to myself throughout all of May to not have to kind of stress out or worry about, oh, I need to do my bullet journal spread for this week. It's already done. I just need to go in and do the goal setting and put my tasks in and all of that. I also started a little monthly brain dump mind map, which I've been doing for a few months now, and I did a seasonal one for spring, which I've showed in previous videos, but this is kind of like a copy of it that I have floating around. So this is more of like a quarterly mind map, and I like to reference that when I'm going in and doing my monthly planning. So, and that's currently where I'm at. I did start putting some things in my Power Sheets like brainstorm page, but I haven't done the tending list section yet. I think I'm just gonna wait to do that in a little bit so I can kind of like sit on everything I've worked out in my head so far. And to be honest, I really don't feel like working on any of my goals this month. Like I'm gonna do the things that I know I need to do, like uploading a video and reading, but like when it comes to like my drawing goals, I think it's my drawing goals. I'm just not feeling inspired. Like it's been really difficult to show up for my draw everyday goal during the month of April, and like I've just been giving myself permission to skip some days because I just haven't been feeling it, and that's fine because I know like when I started in February and March, I was super motivated and I kept it up. So for me to like continue going, like allowing myself these permission slips and vacation days is essential so I can just rest, because especially as a creative person, I have like bursts of creativity where I'm like super creative, but I need like deep periods of rest so I don't burn myself out. So I feel like I'm in a period where I need to just rest my creativeness so I can get back to feeling the urge to show up and draw and sketch and all of that. Baby steps, folks. It's baby steps. That said, I'm going to take a break from all of my planningness. The next day. I've had a wonderful planning session this morning, much needed. After yesterday, I was still feeling kind of meh about my goals, and knowing that I really want to show up in specific areas of my life, I did a little journaling outside of my Power Sheets, which is always so good. And I guess when I'm like rushing my planning, or if it's just a busy season, I always kind of skip over that part. But today I was like, we need to do this. So I just got my big notebook out and asked myself some simple questions. The first one was like, how do I want to feel this month? Always ask yourself how you want to feel, because that's where you can kind of start to branch out action steps and tasks and habits and things, concrete things to do once you kind of figure out why you want to do them. So I put out all of my feelings, and then from there, those were like the foundation for what I want to focus on this month. So knowing I want to feel energized and nourished, creative, inspired, motivated, excited, I then made my next prompt, which was what I'd like to accomplish this month. Even though this prompt is achieve oriented, because accomplish, achieve, same thing, it still felt right for me to put that because there are some things I want to work on this month, while still balancing and remembering that I don't have to do all of these things, and that the little by little progress is the important part, not the destination. The journey is the important part, not the end result. So I put in just a brain dump of things I wanted to accomplish this month and reverting back to how I want to feel. And another prompt that I did that kind of spun off of that was how I wish to take care of myself this month. April, although it was like it started out as a bad mental health month and then ended out on a good note. I have been noticing that I haven't been taking care of my physical health as much, mainly like when it comes to eating and feeding myself. And of course, exercise has been an ongoing struggle. So I want to prioritize my physical health during the month of May, and that is kind of where all this brainstorming led me to. So after I kind of wrote out all of my answers to the prompt on this page, I was like, okay, how can I make this happen? So on the opposite page, I made a whole page for my goal action steps. So I just listed out all of my goals, and since a lot of my goals are just being carried over from previous months, those are essentially like habits that I work on, and I have ingrained them into my schedule. I wanted to focus on my new goals that I still need to kind of show up for, or goals that I have just not been making much progress on, or not feeling motivated or inspired or energized to work on them. So that was really helpful for me. Again, reverting back to like wanting to take care of my body this month, I mapped out three health related goals related to my physical health, related to exercise, meaning I want to complete a week of regular exercise, cook 1 to 2 nourishing meals at home for myself every week. Cooking has been a really big struggle, so I wanted to map out action steps I could take to actually show up for this goal. And I realized, again, and I know this, but like it feels more real when you actually do it, like writing out detailed reasons why you want to do a goal and the steps to help you reach that goal is really such a good activity to actually get your brain on board. And then you actually have the steps so you know what to do, so it all like works out in the end. And then find a doctor and a dentist and schedule my dang appointment. I've been talking about this ever since January, and I still have not found a new doctor or a dentist. And it's getting to the point where if I just don't do something now, I'm never going to do it, even though in the back of my mind, I know like I need to go to the doctor once a year. I was doing that I was doing that, and then I moved, and now I need to find a doctor, and now I'm just using that as a roadblock, as an excuse to not go to the doctor. And it's going on almost 1.5 years that I haven't been to my yearly checkup. And as a woman, like this is where I need to go to the doctor. So I tried to like write out things to get me like motivated and start that process. So just little by little action steps, like picking out a day and a few hours to sit and look for doctors in my area that take my insurance. And then if I find any, book the appointment. That's really just spending one day in the next coming month to do that. And the fact that I haven't done that yet is shame on me. Shame on me putting this out into the world to hold myself accountable to actually do this. And then my other like new goal I want to work on is to create a monthly prompt for the Patreon illustration club that I'm in with Mimi Purcell. I'll link her Patreon down below. I've been part of her Patreon for a few months now, and I'm joined because I wanted to participate in her illustration club, which is just a monthly prompt, and she has different exercises and activities that you can do to help you reach the main final illustration. And I've been doing them. I would do like the sketches, but I haven't actually completed a full final illustration. Although for the month of April, I got the farthest that I've gotten, where I essentially like drafted out my final piece, but it's not like final in the sense that I want to share it with the world. It needs, to be touched up. So that's been a learning curve and a roadblock where I can show up and do the sketches like with the physical pencil in my sketchbook, but when it comes to the final illustration, that I want to do a final digital illustration, I'm still learning, you know, how to draw on my tablet and in Procreate and all the coloring and shading. Like, that's all very new and I'm still learning that, so there's no reason that I should be beating myself up for not completing that final illustration, but I want to continue working on this every month, and again, making it a main priority goal and highlighting it and writing all the steps out, and mainly blocking out time once a week in my schedule to actually show up and just be in that creative zone to work on that activity is kind of what I'm focusing on this month. And I even put in my PowerSheets calendar page like days where I could work on working on the illustration club activity, so I just mark them in there, and then I'm gonna go into my iCalendar, like in my phone, and put those in there. Same with like working out and like scheduling my workouts. That's probably been part of the reason why I haven't been as committed to it, because I have not been putting time blocks into my calendar to actually work out, and those, do not underestimate the power of putting things in your calendar, my friends. So that was like this really helped me. If this resonates, this process, just get another notebook, get another journal, put it beside your PowerSheets and borrow these prompts, you know, do this. If it's kind of, I feel like I've reset myself, even though we're past the quarterly refresh, we're past the, you know, that benchmark, but I've just been feeling like I need a reset, a refresh. So I took some extra time to sit, look back through my old, you know, my earlier PowerSheet pages, look back at my monthly goals and the quarterly refresh, and just reconnect with my annual goals and how I want to feel now, and like where I feel stuck. Like, all these different prompts and questions really got me to where I am now, which would be the final tending list, which, boy, it is stacked. It is a little cluttered. There's 10 lines for your like main monthly goals, and I have 9 filled out. So that means I have 9 monthly goals, which seems like a lot. All the goals essentially on the bottom are things that I know I need to do, and I'm just like, I do them on autopilot, and then I put all of my new goals, which are like 4 like new goals that I really need to show up for and make space and time for. I put them up at the top. So like 3 of them are all related to my annual goal to care for my body, mind, and soul. So we have like the fitness goal, the food goal, the doctor goal, and then my art goal to complete the illustration club monthly prompt. My encouraging words this month are related to, again, focusing on my physical health, taking care of my body, nourishing my soul, nurturing, you know, all self-care. My self-care is worth taking time for. That's a big one for me. So again, this is my full theme, and just having it all there in front of me so I can look at this every day or every other day is going to hopefully keep me on track. And then a lot of my weekly goals or action items correlate with the monthlies, such as cooking 1 to 2 nourishing meals at home. I'm essentially tracking them. I'm tracking a few of my goals at a weekly level and at a monthly level, so it's kind of like double dipping in a way, which I think helps me. Like, at a weekly level, I can measure that progress, and then I can also like see overall how my progress was at a monthly level. And action items are all the same. At least I have my daily habits in check, which keeps me grounded. All right, friends, those are all of my goals for the month of May. Let me know how your goal setting has gone for this month, what you're focusing on and hoping for your month. Also, remember that May is Asian American Pacific Islander month. As an Asian American, I encourage you to support AAPI folks out there, whether it's, you know, investing in their programs and products and reading books by them, consuming their content, tipping them, supporting their local businesses, restaurants. There are so many different ways you can uplift this community, and also just not doing it during the month of May, but all year round. It would mean a lot to me, and of course to the AAPI community, to have your support and encouragement. All right, with that said, happy May, and I will see you in the next video.